Young girl vanished, disappeared for 6 months. Young girl vanished, disappeared for 6 months when just days ago police confirmed she was found dead. And tonight her friends and family just want to know what happened. Here's Shawnette Wilson.
A vigil was held this evening on the same block where this young girl was murdered. Who did this? Why it took the family so long to be notified and so long for police to identify her body? All questions that still remain. Orange balloons released in memory of this 13-year-old girl who lost her life to gun violence. Elysiana Carter, known to family and friends as Libby, died after someone shot her in the face.
She was a strong girl, but she didn't deserve this.
Stop giving Compton props, nigga, you smoking off that motherfucking stress that your ass was choking. CPT, I'm straight out, that's my motherfucking heart. You can't tear me apart, they gave a nigga a start. It's crazy niggas in that bitch, plenty hoes to match, plenty pussies to fuck, and plenty bitches to catch. Niggas be doing what they got to do, families in need. Compton niggas hit that pussy so hard, make it bleed. Niggas hit the switches and moving pounds of dope, so cluck head, motherfuckers got they rocks and smoke. Niggas be killing other niggas, man, that get in they path. White motherfuckers gives a fuck, they sit back and laugh. These undercover type bitches be playing the tease. Got my dick hard as fuck, but she want the pennies. Niggas be hating cause I'm doing what the fuck they wanna do. Niggas still be having love for you.
Hey, Black Power, Black Power. This is Street Watching TV back at you with another hot topic, another real live video tonight. Some real live street knowledge for your mind. You know me, I keep it divine, I keep it on time. Hey, y'all, listen. This your first time fucking with my channel, man. Please mash up the likes. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, this is Street Watching TV. I am Soldier C. You know what I mean? You know, I'm one of them brothers who could have been famous back in the day on the rap scene. You know, I used to rap back in the day, but I did a lot of prison time, so that killed my prison career. So I still do rap underground, but I'm an older gentleman now. I'm not into the rap game to try to make it, because I'm older now. That's a lane for a young black man or a young person. You feel what I'm saying? Even though rap music do not put stress on the body for its physical ability, but rap is like a mental format. You know, you just had to have the mental, and you had to have the gift, the gab, to be able to, you know, do your thing. So with that being said, you might have seen my video. I don't go to the studio. I do a little recording off my phone, just let people know that I can still do it. And probably not at the highest degree that I really want to, because I don't go to the studio. I don't have any ambitions to be a rapper, but I drop what they call messages and behind instrumentals. So the song that you heard was Luciferian. That is my true belief that the world that we live in is controlled by Luciferian in all aspects of life, that the world is ran on a Luciferian doctrine. You see what I'm saying? Because the major people who run this world are Luciferians. So people are influenced by Luciferian, so you could be living a Luciferian lifestyle and not even knowing it, because of the Luciferian people who project this Luciferian spiritual negative behavior up on a planet. So you sometimes become what they call a victim of your environment. You feel what I'm saying? You assimilate what you've been taught, assimilate with the people who's given this evil spiritual awareness on the planet, such as Luciferian. So with that being said, we're going to get up into some Luciferian shit that's been hitting my brainwave. I couldn't get this shit out earlier, but since I'm here in Ohio and I'm hearing this news about the missing teenagers here in Ohio, not only that it drew my attention that so many black young teens are coming up missing in Ohio, it's the time limit. What I mean by the time limit, these missing teens came up missing in the same time frame. And that what drew my attention to the situation, fam. This is why I'm speaking this morning. It is now 6:52 a.m. So this is Street Watching TV on the early morning side. So I should be saying Grand Rising. Please mash up the likes. If this your first time joining this channel, give me some love like everybody else be getting love. I be getting some weird inboxes telling me that I have some content that's okay and I need more subscribers. This Asian dude want me to pay him for subscribers, $10, 100 subscribers, and so forth and so much. I don't know if he's legit, but why should I have to pay for subscribers? That means that your art is not that good. So my art may be behind. You know what I'm saying? Like I told people, not to make any excuses. Had a small stroke when I was in prison. They wouldn't tell me I had high blood pressure. And then my tooth came out right here, so I have a hard time pronouncing my words. But with that being said, I'm not paying this joker no money for subscribers. That's fake. So that let me know that a lot of people that's on YouTube is paying for subscribers. You feel what I'm saying? But back to these missing teens, y'all. It just draw my attention, and it should draw your attention. And the reason why I say it should draw your attention, we need to question law. On Capitol Hill, why is it's discrimination when black people coming up missing in this country come up missing, that we don't get a national world news awareness? No one hears about this. It's not even highlighted for a segment on world news. If it was just a segment that they would give black people on world news, that would help with our cases. It would speed up the process of finding our loved ones. But since we are black in this country, we don't get no national coverage when someone come up missing. I dare Biden to say we're not black if we don't vote for him. I dare Biden that didn't give black people a hate crime bill. I dare Senator Obama became president, didn't do nothing to protect black people. I dare Mitch McConnell to say black people don't deserve reparations. We got a black president who didn't do shit for us. What the fuck is this symbolic message is? We need substance in this country. Why isn't these black teens that's missing in Ohio is missing here in Ohio is not given national coverage like Gabby Petito? Hope I'm saying the white woman that came up missing here a month ago, and she was on all front coverage of the news. ABC, NBC, Fox News, CNN would not give up till they found the woman. Unfortunately, they found the white woman dead. Sad outcome. Sad outcome. But why is it's a distinguish between black and white in this country if America's not racist? See, they want to get rid of black people. This is why they want all black people to check multicultural now on applications. You feel what I'm saying? They're trying to oust black people. You feel me? It's all a plan to get rid of us. And that's why I know COVID-19, the virus itself, was unleashed upon the planet. See, they can make a fucking disease on a planet that can attack a certain gene without offending the black people. So keep that in mind. They want to get rid of us, and this is why these teens that are missing in Ohio are not on television. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I do understand that, I understand that, but I don't understand that as it relates to us as a people. Why we continue to vote for these people and see there's no love for our people. There's no love. You know, it says, so what? They don't love us. There's a lot of people that don't like me. So what? I don't lose no sleep. I don't lose no sleep because a motherfucker don't like me. But see, we don't give a fuck if someone black don't like us, because we want to be accepted by the people who don't love us. They show you time and time again and again. How is it that a few Asians get beat up during the coronavirus situation? People blaming the Asians for the coronavirus, but I know better. I know nobody ate one bat and coughed and caused a worldwide lockstep up on the planet. I know better than that. This is a purposely unleashed thing up on our planet. But a few Asians suffer a little bit of scuffle. We've been going through that since our inception to this country. We got lynched, burned at the stake, and still get lynched, burned at the stake, physically, mentally, socially, on all levels of the fucking game. We being fucked as a people. And we constantly want to vote for these people. I dare Joe Biden to say, we're not black if we don't vote for him. He did say this dumb shit on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God. You feel what I'm saying? George Floyd was murdered right before our very eyes. Where is this hate crime bill? 9 church-going members, law-abiding citizens. I think one of these guys was a politician that was off in that church in Carolina during y'all black president, so-called black president, Mr. Obama, don't give a fuck about black folks. He's a Negro European. You know what a Negro European is? A black person with a European mind, a white mind. He didn't do nothing for us. 9 church members in Carolina were killed by a race soldier named Dalen Roof. That should have signed right there. That should have signed right there. On the spot, he was supposed to sign executive order for a hate crime bill for the African American. For the African American. Or should I say the Native Americans? Because some black people want to be Native American. They don't want to associate with Africa. Some people are Hebrews. They don't want to associate with Africa. Israel, Hebrew, Israelite. Now I'm talking to the conscience of our people. We say we so conscious. You know, I'm talking to some of our Christians, some of our Muslims, us gangbangers, us street niggas, us broke niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about us who divided on simple, goofy ass shit. Because when the man see us, the so-called man, the white man see us, the system, the motherfucker white supremacy system, when it see us, it just see us as one people. So I don't give a fuck what you claiming, Moorish American. We can't come together as one fucking unit. Now we need to come together on this particular subject right here. We need a worldwide media response. Why black people, when they come up missing in this fucking country, we cannot get national coverage. Everybody's a runaway when you're a young black teen. If you're a runaway, you should still be hunted down because the wickedness of this Luciferian world that we live in. People prey on people who run away. So police, I don't give a fuck. If you don't want to look for a teen because you think a teen has ran away, it's your fucking job. But you know, being black in America, we have to take our own responsibilities. We had to become our own cops. We had to put our resources together, and that's what's fucked up about us. We do not put our resources together to even go look for our missing children. We don't put our resources together to go looking for the missing black men and young black men who've been hunted down and killed, and their organs are coming up missing when you find the dead body. You cannot put our resources together who look for the black men who've been hunted down because of the skin they in and lynched. That's still happening in this country. But world news do not put it up on their fucking television. Tell a lie to your vision. A lot of people always say, you always talk about the mainstream media always lie. It ain't what the subject that they speak on. There's some truth with ABC, NBC, Fox News. I'm not here to discredit them for us on that level. But when it comes to black people, anything that's dealing with black people, good news, bad news, whatever they report on black people, you need to investigate it. If they said a black person did this particular thing, you need to really find out if they did it or not, because when it comes to the media is only geared to drag black people through the dirt. The media is only geared to drag black people through the dirt like they're trying to do to Kyrie Irving. Everybody has a fucking choice. But back to these young teens. A young female by the name of Alasia Walker went missing May 23rd this year from Holland, Ohio. May 23rd. Lakia Armour, 16, because Alasia Walker is 17. Lakia Armour is 16 from Toledo, Ohio. She went missing May 23rd. You feel what I'm saying? These are the same dates. There's no fucking coincidence. A black male, young teenager, Eon Blanchard, 17, went missing May 24th. You see where I'm going with this? This in Ohio, where I'm from. And I'm seeing this information, but I'm wondering why this information ain't reflecting and translating to the mainstream media. I know why. But you Negroes say I'm crazy for stepping on mainstream media. It's what they don't show. You feel what I'm saying? It's what they don't show. The shit they conceal. I'm not saying they here to misrepresent certain things in the news, but certain things they do misrepresent. They mad at black community because we reluctant not to take that jab. Why all of a sudden you don't put us on world news when we come up missing? You don't do anything positive to help black people who's in need, in dire need of financial, spiritual, economic, I said that before, financial, but spiritual, political, nothing to help black people. All the monies that these white people got, they do owe us. Sorry, y'all, one of my phones came on. But they do owe black people for the atrocities that were committed against humanity. We built this country. What you mean the Jews got reparations? Japanese got reparations. The slave masters got reparations for losing their property, which was black people. Don't you know? During the so-called Emancipation Proclamation, all that bullshit that was being ratified, and after the so-called slavery that was over with, don't you know? Stinking Lincoln government administration paid white people money for losing property after the Civil War, which was slaves, which was slave plantations. They lost money, and they was paid reparations. What kind of country are we living in? Is it ruled by Luciferian? So back to these young teens. Ivan Blanchard, 17, went missing May 24th, another black male, and he was from Akron, Ohio. Another black male, Emmanuel Moreland. Emmanuel Moreland went missing May 22nd. And he was only 16 years old. You see where I'm going? Kyria, let me say this right. Kara Griffin, 16, went missing May 24th from Cincinnati, Ohio. Paris Smith Jr., 14, went missing May 23rd, Cincinnati, Ohio. My question is this. Why is this not being covered on world news? This is a pandemic in within itself. Not only here in Ohio. Not here in Ohio. Black people are coming up missing all over the fucking country. They bombard you with Pfizer, all these vaccinations, and who's not getting vaccinated. They bombard us with this all day, and we're not paying attention till we're being snatched at the same time. And no one's giving a fuck. Nobody cares about being black. To be black in the 21st century in 2021 is the lamest thing on the planet. According to all these people that don't pay attention that's black. That's black in appearance. Everybody want to be multicultural. They want to be, accepted by Europeans by any disrespect, by any means. According to 2020 FBI data, black people make up 35% of the missing people in America, but only represent 13% of America's population. Just like the prison pipeline, it's off balance. We make up 13% of the population, but the majority incarceration. The balance is always tilt against black people. But we find black militants and conscious black people the most racist people on the planet. I think you should look at the people that you look up to, Negro. All you Negroes who make, like Condoleezza Rice. I think she was on The View. Did y'all see her on The View? Said that black people, yeah, we went through slavery, but white people don't need to be reminded of what happened in history. Let me tell you something, man. When you got a docile Aunt your mama, step and fetch it, put the cape on for the white man, super black European woman, that's very dangerous. Because she's saying, don't talk about the history of slavery because white people got to be reminded and feel guilty of what happened. It's just part of history. Do you stop teaching white Jews about what Hitler did to the white Jews? Those so-called Jews. Because we know that the white Jews are only Jews according to Judaism, religion. But then the same white folks who hide behind religion to commit a lot of evil. The Satan of synagogue. You feel what I'm saying? They the ones control the mainstream media. You'd be surprised who will adopt this Luciferian doctrine, who run the world up under this Luciferian doctrine. So, black people coming up missing, and when you find some black people, it's foul play. Missing organs. Trafficking organs. Then you got people who's fatally just in love with another person from my community. We kill each other. It's some type of fatal attraction or some fatal dispute or a domestic violence situation. We need to take responsibilities for that. Quit killing each other because one walks away from a situation. Then we got the race soldiers who be looking for black people, who hunt black people down, and black people don't believe this shit still go on. You remember, you seen the video on the Ahmaud Arbery case. So black people, you got to be you got to be diligently vigilant about your surroundings and what time you living in. These people are trying to get rid of us on all levels of the game. With the coronavirus, with different diseases that they pump into our people when we go into the medical hospital. I was in the hospital. I went for a couple months ago. I had something going on with my vertical. As they proclaimed, I know I was drinking some peaches juice. Real citrus, real sweet, corn syrup type shit. I was drinking it plain. And after I drank that shit, I had some type of like trauma going, like a small stroke. And I was real dizzy. Couldn't stand up, and the whole world felt like it was spinning around me. Whole world felt like it was spinning. And every time I ate a piece of sugar, I got real dizzy. So they did blood work on me, and they say that I'm not a diabetic. But why every time I eat some sugar, something happens? I feel like my fucking eyes is gonna pop out my head. So sugar is not good for people. I stopped eating sugar, and I used to have blisters on my feet. When I stopped eating sugar, the blisters on my feet healed up. So I don't care what the medical field say that I'm not a diabetic. I don't trust them. I could be, but they're not telling me. They want me to continue to eat sugar so I can die off. So we not aware what's going on. We the last on the totem pole on every level. So when you go get your medical treatment, you don't know if you're a white doctor or your black doctor, because you got them self-hating ass Negroes who don't give a fuck about niggas. Like I say, being black is lame in the 21st century amongst black people. Even in the rap music, Tupac and the rappers in the day made you feel good about being black. These rappers these days, they don't give a fuck about any culture, giving back to the culture and where it come from. They don't give a fuck about the culture, because the name of the culture is get rid of black culture. But everybody makes money off black culture. So these young teens, the only reason why Elijah Walker, who went missing in Holland, Ohio, because she's black. That's why she don't get no national coverage. Elijah Walker, May 23rd, went missing. Lakia Armour, Toledo, Ohio, went missing. Ian Blanchard, he went missing, 17 years old, went missing in Akron, Ohio. Emmanuel Moreland went missing in Cleveland, Ohio. He was 16 years old. I can't say his name. Kara Griffin, Kara Griffin, 16, went missing May 24th, Cincinnati, Ohio. Paris Smith Jr., 14, he went missing May 23rd, Cincinnati, Ohio. Why is this not on your world news every day? Missing people in Ohio, missing people around the world that's black, around the planet. It's a pandemic within itself. So, with that being said, mash up the likes, share this video, and leave comments below. If I'm wrong to say mainstream media don't give a fuck about black people, I'm gone.
The case of Gabby Petito has gone viral, making national headlines every day. But many minority families of missing victims are questioning why they don't receive the same kind of exposure. The FBI had over 89,000 active missing person cases at the end of last year, and 45% of those were people of color, and only a fraction of those cases were even covered on the news. Sit on Your Side's investigative reporter Dan Kraut has more on one group's efforts to change that.
Thousands of people go missing from the streets of New York City every year. Many of those are found fairly quickly, but some go missing for months, and you don't often hear about it. The disappearance and homicide of Gabby Petito has received worldwide attention. Law enforcement across the country have been involved in the search for her and her boyfriend. But many people go missing that don't make the headlines. Tiffany Wesley from the Bronx, missing since July. Elia Boomer of Brooklyn vanished 6 years ago. And Larry Darnell Stackhouse disappeared from upstate New York 16 years ago.
They're simply not receiving that level of mainstream media.
Erica Wilson co-founded the National Black and Missing Foundation to help be a voice for the voiceless.
Everyone knows Natalie Holloway, Lacey Peterson, Chandra Levy, Elizabeth Smart, Gabby Petito. But I would have to ask, how many people can you name that are minority, black and brown?
More than 13,000 people were reported missing in New York City alone last year. We tried to get the racial breakdown of the missing and how many cases have been solved, but the NYPD hasn't released it, saying the number of missing persons is fluid as investigations are active and constantly change. Wilson says nationwide, close to half involve people of color.
All these families that are living in this nightmare, their hearts bleed the same way.
She says they're not made public for a variety of reasons.
Oftentimes when families of color report their loved ones missing, police are not taking the cases seriously. When it comes to children, they like to classify them as runaways.
But there's something everyone can do to help be a part of the solution. And that can be as simple as hitting the share button on social media.
Do not just like the post, you want them to share the post. Retweet the post. Someone knows something.
Dan Kraut, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
As Gabby Petito's case grips the nation, families of color with missing loved ones remind the nation they're hurting too.
The first 24 to 40 hours is most important and it's critical.
David Robinson's son, Daniel, is a 24-year-old geologist who disappeared after work one day this past July in Buckeye, Arizona. Police found his car in a ravine, but 3 months have passed. No sign of him or his body. Why do you think that is, that cases like your son's go unheard?
As much as I really hate to say this, and sometimes I think race is a factor. They think that, it's not an urgency for us.
David had to hire his own private investigator.
He's my son. He's a person.
In 2020, more than 500,000 people were reported missing. Nearly 40% of them, people of color.
He's my son. He's a person.
In 2020, more than 500,000 people were reported missing. Nearly 40% of them, people of color.
Hundreds of black and brown families who are waiting to get word of their loved one, who are waiting for a news story, who are waiting for a moment to step into the spotlight and shine some light on their story.
This year, 25-year-old graduate student Jelani Day disappeared on August 24th. His body identified late today. 30-year-old Lauren Cho went missing in June, last seen near Yucca Valley, California. Communities pleading for attention. The same painful patterns among Indigenous women. Homicide is the third leading cause of death among Native women, who are murdered at a rate more than 10 times the national average. And as we've reported, tribal leaders like Eric Hemingway of the Little Traverse Bay Bands of Odawa Indians take comfort in the federal government launching an investigation into the abuse and deaths of Native American school children, and a new task force to find the missing.
It's the kids. The kids are telling us that you have to look, and you have to look everywhere.
For now, David Robinson says all he can do is pray.
Well, I still don't want to concede and say anything that my son is not here. I just know I'm going to find him, and that's my goal. And just having that in mind, that keeps me strong.
And hope that Gabby's story will shed light on their own. Antonia Hilton, NBC News.
We saw her on camera. The last image of her is on camera with a bag of food, and her eyes look so sad.
I kept asking myself why couldn't it have been me instead of her?
We've seen a lot of African American girls that have gone missing, and very little visibility is brought to their case. For 2 weeks, we said she. We've seen a lot of African American girls that have gone missing, and very little visibility is brought to their case. for 2 weeks. We said she did not run away. And for 2 weeks, they kept saying she ran away.
Why would the police look at a young black girl and think she's more likely to be a runaway than a young white girl?
There's just a certain level of prejudice, that still kind of hangs in our culture in the United States.
Across America, the statistics on missing children show a shocking racial disparity. Only 14% of children in the US are black, but 37% of missing people under 18 are African American. Under 18 are African American, but 37% of missing people under 18 are African American. Of all the kids that go missing, over 90% are runaways, according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Most of these issues with young people who run away, they're usually running from a condition or running to a condition, meaning someone's luring them out.
R-E-L-I-S-H-A.
This is 8-year-old Rilisha Rudd.
That's good. I can hear all that.
She was interviewed by a homeless charity in February 2014.
Try to give us some place to stay.
She's talking about the shelter where she lived in Washington, D.C.
Say it louder. The shelter give us some place to stay.
4 weeks later, she went missing.
You on it.
Procedures and reporting today in a new do-it-yourself era.
Daniel Robinson is a young black man. He's only 24 years old, 5'8", 165, black hair, brown eyes. That's his description. His dad has hired a private investigator to find him.
Once his vehicle was found and the way it was found, it just didn't look right. It didn't sit right with me. That's why I ended up getting my own private investigator.
A father driven like many black Americans to hire out or become a private investigator themselves to find missing loved ones.
But it's important that you see that she had family. She has people that love her and go to bat for her.
Right now, I want to be able to say, I've exhausted everything I possibly can, every idea, every suggestion, and every thought trying to find this child.
Taking matters into their own hands and seeking resources and turning to black organizations like the Foundation for Missing People of Color directly.
We've worked with thousands of families across the United States, and since our inception, we've helped reunite or bring closure to over 400 families.